This episode of Road Soda is brought to you by White Castle PCS.
White Castle PCS, your favorite fast food restaurant, now offers even faster cell service. Come in for the royal treatment, the sack of sliders and a cell meal. It's the only meal that comes with a smartphone, the Whiteberry. The Whiteberry is the fastest fast food smartphone on the market. Unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited taste. White Castle PCS offers cell coverage within 20 yards of all White Castle locations. Text using WhiteTap, and you get 25% off our mouth-watering slider sacks. Come for the sliders, stay for the cell service. White Castle PCS.
Hello and thank you for smacking another toad floater. Wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. Thank you for, smacking another toad floater. This week, we told you that burger was impossible. Police dispatch takes a pizza order. Someone's not happy with our Craigslist ad. And we take a long walk down the Pontification High-Way. I'm Isaiah Cooper. Yeah, me, Isaiah Cooper. And with me is Justin Mitchell. But not at this moment. Justin Mitchell is on. He joins us for the news and also for our last segment, or the kind of meat of the show. We haven't done it in a while. It's just when Justin and I sit down and we're hanging out, we tend to have long talks about, I don't know, it seems to be a lot of how am I doing in life and how can I do better. It's something that we talk about a lot, or I have not a super lot on the podcast, I would say, but I know a lot of other podcasts do. You get a couple of dudes sitting all around, they want to philosophize and whatnot, but we have not done this in a while, and I thought it was very cathartic. It's very helpful every once in a while, not just to have somebody listen to it. It's more for myself, when I'm sitting there talking, I'm getting something out of it, and we're just putting it out there for everyone to listen to. So yeah, he joins us for the news and for that, and also we have our Craigslist ad and all that kind of stuff. Guys, if you want to write into the show and say hello, how do you do, maybe give us a prompt for our Craigslist. We do these things where we post things on Craigslist and we get people calling into the show. If you want to give us a prompt or something, you can send that to roadsodamail@gmail.com. Again, that's roadsodamail@gmail.com. If we had a commercial, that's the way it would. roadsodamail@gmail.com. And then you can also leave a voicemail. We love to hear your beautiful voices in the mail. And you can do that by calling the number 706-200-1213. Again, that's 706-200-1213. And it's going to ring a couple times. It goes to voicemail. Leave a voicemail, and boom! You're on the Toad Floater Show. That's right. You're just driving in your car, maybe going to work, coming home from work, doing something. And we're in there entertaining those... what's between these two earbuds, or maybe in the car. I don't know how you live your life, but either way, you can hear your voice. It's like a feedback loop. You hear your voice in this thing that you're listening to for entertainment. Thank you for joining us. But guys, first, another word from our sponsors.
This episode of Road Soda is brought to you by Ancestry.com.
Ancestry.com. We look at your genealogy and put together a family tree that you can fuck. Developed in Kentucky to mitigate the negative outcomes of inbreeding, Ancestry.com is now helping people globally keep it in the family. Our team of Appalachian scientists know just which branch you can swing to without spoiling the fruit.
I always had papers for my cousin Shirley. But I was worried about what they say about your kids coming out dumb. But Ancestry.com built my family tree and showed me that Shirley is sterile. Woohoo! Thanks, Ancestry.com.
Ancestry.com. Incest done right.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, news o'clock.
Rock.
Yes, you've heard this song.
I know that song.
Hey, Justin.
What's up, man?
When's the last time you saw a good news article?
Probably the last time I did road soda.
Ha! That's what everyone says. I told you it was impossible is my title for this news
I'm excited.
article. Man sues Burger King over Impossible Burger.
Impossible.
Have you heard about this, Justin?
No, what's the
Have you
deal?
heard about
what
this
even
guy?
is an Impossible Whopper?
So wait, oh yeah, I said burger. You haven't heard of this? Oh, okay, so Burger King is the first fast food restaurant to have an all-vegan hamburger.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, so it's called the
Oh,
Impossible.
Impossible is the brand, yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Now they're getting sued. This comes to us from My Suncoast, which I think all of my articles do, and this week, but just about 80% of all the crazy art. They are the best at amalgamating just like great fucking articles for us to work through. My Suncoast, it's our local news station, although I do think this comes to us actually from CNN. A vegan has filed a lawsuit against Burger King over its Impossible Whopper. I like that. That's like a vegan. They would never say a meat eater.
Right.
That's his nice little label there. Over its Impossible Whopper, claiming it's falsely promoted as meat-free. What do you... you're probably super fast reader, and you've already seen the whole article. But, I think you're just speed reading it right now. I wanted to ask you, what do you think the thing was?
The thing was what?
That was making it not...
I don't know. No, and I
Oh.
hadn't read until you said. I was
Okay.
just...
Yeah, I saw you speeding. I was like, no, I'm trying to...
No. I can't think. It was used cooked on the same grill or something.
Yes.
Really?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What are you, kosher now?
Yeah.
That's the same thing in if you want to keep kosher,
Yeah.
you have to have two separate sets of plates,
Right.
separate dishes, everything.
Yeah.
And I guess also if you're vegan.
That's right. Yeah, they don't even want it to touch.
What's this dog doing?
She's getting into trouble.
I see. This dog is distracting us from the news. Do you want me to move this? Will that help?
Yeah, hand that to me real quick.
There you go.
She's just smelling my guitar pedals, and then she leaves a gigantic slobber stain on them.
She likes the taste of your feet.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
They have good tasting feet.
Willow, quit being a plunker.
So what do you think? Do you think they should be sued because they're cooking it on the same grill?
No. And this is coming from someone who lives a primarily vegan lifestyle for a long time. You can't go out and expect that the rest of the world is going to operate under your beliefs, right? You are choosing to, by being a vegan, you're choosing to go against the grain, right? When I go to a restaurant and they have vegan options, I know that, like, some dude's going to forget and put butter in it.
Right.
Or they're going to use a pan that had butter in it. Or they're going to cook it on the
Yeah.
grill where there was meat. Like, it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
And that being said, I'm pretty sure Burger King is not advertising being vegan. I'm pretty sure they're just advertising, because I've seen some advertisements. I'm
Right.
pretty sure they're just advertising a plant-based burger.
Yeah.
So the term plant-based burger is accurate. So you have no
Correct.
grounds to sue them because they never said it was vegan safe. And number two, like, ask the question.
Yes.
I have vegan friends who that's super important to them. I think it's dramatic, but if that's how you want to live your life, that's fine. To me, it goes back to what we were talking about, lessening the suffering of myself and others. I'm not trying to be
What we
difficult.
will talk about.
What we will talk about. I'm not trying to be difficult. Like, I went to a Thai place. I ordered pad Thai. Told them I was vegan. They put an egg on it. I just ate it. The egg's not going
Right.
to kill me.
No.
And I'm not going to make them throw this away and then have to use water to wash a plate. Like, the environmental side of me comes out.
Yes.
It's like, I'm not going to waste this. So,
and that's my favorite. You're my favorite vegan. Because I never, ever remember you tell me so much because. Not because you have to tell me, but because I completely forget. Like, you're not a
Yeah.
you were. I've never met a vegan who is more secretive than you. Even if I end up giving you something, you never even.
Yeah,
it's
I'll
very
just
rare.
eat it. It's not a big deal.
It's
I'm not
very
gonna make
rare
a
that
big
you
deal
ever
about
have.
it. Yeah. Anyways, I try not to be difficult, and I also know that there is the stereotype about being, like, an asshole.
Right.
And it's funny because, like, we talk about, if you want to talk about morals, typically you get a superiority complex because you think you are making the better moral decision and that other people are not living their lives the way you are, so it's not good. It's a terrible, toxic way of thinking. Like, you talk about pedestals. Anytime you put someone else on a pedestal above or below you, it's awful.
It is awful. Well, do you think this guy is going to get thrown out? Because if they are advertising it as plant-based, I think it'll just...
He's not going to sue them. Yeah, he can't sue them.
It's clickbait. It's good.
Yeah.
We just clicked it. We read it to you. They got what they wanted. The next one is called, I'm Sorry, Brother.
I hope it's Hulk Hogan.
Me too. I don't know why I typed that. And I don't really remember. Deputies. A woman accused of leaving kids in car while drinking at bar arrested again. This time for battery.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack there.
A lot to unpack.
This is two separate occasions. They just want everyone to know, hey, this is the woman, and it doesn't say she was arrested for. She was accused of leaving kids in a car while drinking at a bar.
Right. Oh, bar. And then she's arrested again. Yeah, so this is just how they're identifying her. Hey, that's not the problem right now.
Right. Now she's assault. But I want to know, was it the kids?
Right. Let's find out. This comes to us from Inglewood, Florida. Real close to home.
The Alabama of Florida.
That's right. A woman arrested earlier this year for allegedly leaving her children in the car while she was drinking inside a bar, found herself behind bars again. That's the same as your title line. Let's see. The deputies say on Veterans Day, Christy Lee Johnson, I got the burpees, of Inglewood, or Alabama, Florida, attacked a man at home in Rotonda West. The victim told deputies that Johnson punched him, kicked him in the testicles, bit him, and pulled his hair.
Oh my God.
Knocking him to the ground, where he hit his head on a shelf as he fell on the cement floor.
Look, people, this is why you need to go out, find a kickboxing gym, find a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym, find something, and just learn the basics on how to defend yourself. Honestly, if you train either kickboxing or Jiu-Jitsu for 1 year, this won't fucking happen to you.
Because you're going to be getting your anger out, or because...
No, because
you're gonna be able to...
listen to what they just said. Yeah, she punched me and then kicked me in the testicles. Do you, kick me in the testicles now? It will hurt, but I will not roll over. You know what I mean? I will get back up and I'm going to kill you. You know what I mean? That's the thing. I wouldn't, that's crazy that's all she did. And then she bit me.
Well, I mean, because in a lot of ways, if he would have done just about anything in retaliation, because he's the man.
Right, because she's a woman.
Right.
I hear you.
I mean, even though, I think once it goes to the ball kick, that's crossing the line.
Yeah.
Because I can't ball kick you back.
That's right.
You don't know what it feels like.
That's right. If you ball kick me, I'm going to break your nose.
I'm
going to change your face.
Spinning heel kick.
That's right.
The victim, let's see, he and a witness both told deputies that they saw Johnson drinking alcohol straight from the bottle, and the victim said he knew it was going to be a bad night because she I wish that's all he said. But then he says because she gets out of control when she drinks alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently.
So
I think when I said I'm sorry, brother, was because it was supposed to be like a Hulk Hogan thing.
Yep, that's what I was saying.
And Willow is definitely sniffing those.
Willow, quit being a plunker.
Now, Justin told me what a plunker is, and it's the sound that...
I was wrong.
Really?
Yeah, I just assumed one of my British friends used to say plunker all the time.
Okay.
But I was like, oh, plunk, kerplunk. It's like you're a turd, right?
Yeah.
It's the sound a turd makes when it hits the toilet. But it's not. It's plonker, Plonker, and it just means kind of dummy.
It's just a word on its own.
Like you're dense. Yeah. It doesn't come from anything.
Wow.
So,
well, you know what? I have a lot of people to tell because I told a lot of people.
Yeah.
I got a lot of people I got to fix.
Now it's my slang now. So plunker, it's my thing.
It sounds like a toilet poop water. All right, here we go. Keep up, dispatch. Extra crispy.
With a K.
With a K. I think that was on purpose. Victim's daughter calls 911 to, quote-unquote, order pizza to signal domestic violence.
That's an awesome idea.
It really, really is. A scary situation of alleged domestic violence. I love that they keep with the alleged. You know what? That's solid news.
Right.
Ended with the suspect abuser in handcuffs. The victim's daughter said she used the tactic to keep the person who was hitting her mom in the dark, that she was calling for help. Wouldn't the guy be like, hey, who's talking about pizza?
Yeah.
You're just ordering a pizza out of nowhere? Who's going to pay for the pizza?
That's right. Yeah, exactly. she's on the phone with 911. He's like, "Go, I'll beat your ass when you're on that motherfucking pizza order."
You better give me sausage. In his 14 years of service, this call, Oregon dispatcher Tim Tenick has never gotten it before. You see it on Facebook, but it's not something that anybody has ever tried or ever been trained for.
Good for him. I don't know how cryptic she was, but good for him for like figuring it out.
Yeah, there was a quote that I saw because this came to it was like a Twitter. It was a Twitter post that they put up about this article, and the line that I had came from it was supposed to be dialogue back and forth between her and 911, and it was the guy was she's like, I want to. She's like, I want to order a pizza to apartment. And he's like, this isn't a pizza place.
Yeah.
And she goes, no, you're not getting it. I want to order a pizza to apartment. He goes, no, ma'am, this ain't a pizza shop.
Yeah.
Like, that was the apparently.
So it was hard. I guess he didn't pick it up at first, yeah.
He did not pick it up. So I want to call the dispatch and try to order a pizza extra crispy.
Weird.
Do you know what that's from?
No, I don't.
Oh, that's from Tenacious D, The Pick of Destiny.
Sure.
He says if somebody calls and they order a pizza extra crispy, it means they want weed.
Ah, that makes sense.
Because pizza delivery guys also
sell weed.
Always.
Yep.
Can I get a second opinion?
Doctor.
Of course, it's a doctor. Let's see what kind of doctor it is. Dog credited with detecting owner's cancer 3 times.
This boggles my mind.
Yeah.
What does it smell?
Cancer?
Yeah, I guess.
It smells cancer, man. What are you, silly? She was diagnosed with ovarian cancer not once, but 3 times. Every time Stephanie Harful says her dog Sierra sniffed it out.
Oh, all right. So she's saying that. There's not like an expert saying, yo, that dog did it.
Right, yeah. She could be. She started acting funny, but there is actually some evidence and like research done with cancer detecting dogs.
And other diseases.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know how. Maybe what do you think her dog was like? How do you think he was telling her?
Sharon.
You got cancer again.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to make fun of this lady, honestly.
Yeah, I know. She doesn't go to doctors. She also then hears the cancer holistically.
That's right. She just started doing some kale and wheatgrass shots.
And meditation. This is a very long article. I didn't read any of it.
My God.
Let's read this sentence. I didn't think she was crazy at all. I said probably your dog was picking up that you weren't feeling okay, said Kushner. I'm going to assume Kushner is, Herfel started having conversations about Sierra with her oncologist, Dr. David Kushner.
Oh, wow.
Here. Don't put my name in there.
Look at that. It says, a study by blah, blah, blah found a dog's smell is 10,000 times more accurate than humans. And when they were put to the test to sniff out blood samples of cancer patients, their noses got it right 97% of the time.
Wow, that's better than most doctors.
And that's just the blood sample.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is better than most doctors.
That is incredible, yeah.
Wow.
You should just put that dog in a damn lab coat.
For real.
You should just start a service, lady. Just have people come over to your house
and
let
let my dog. And then, like, certain people go over, it's like, you got to take your clothes off.
You got to take them all off.
He's got to smell the crotch.
That's his favorite part.
That's my favorite part.
Well, there's your news. Seeing as how we only had like a couple days to accumulate it. I mean, I'm letting it out now. This is a little bit of an early recording. Doesn't matter to you guys. That's your news.
Yeah.
News it up.
Do you want to walk in the park but don't have a reason to? Dick Diamond's used pet sales. I've got dogs, cats, horses. Once, we even had a giraffe. Stop by Dick Diamond's used pet sales. Our pets are cheap and reliable, and all our pets are just like new and gently used. We got a hamster for my son Timmy, and it lived for 6 months. It only died because it was eaten by our cat, that we also got from Dick. What's really sad is that the cat choked to death on the hamster. Timmy was hysterical. Thankfully, we got the Diamond warranty plan, and Dick set us up with a replacement gerbil and parrot in no time. Don't spend top dollar for new pets. I've got perfectly good ones right here. Dick Diamond's used pet sales.
Craigslist update. I don't know if that's it's a Craigslist update. I don't know if I want that to be the new intro I don't know, we'll figure it out. We don't really even know what this segment is, but we have an update, of course, on what's crack-a-lackin' on Craigslist. If you are for some crazy reason jumping into this is your first episode, you never know. Any episode could be someone's first road soda. You never know. But it won't be the last, because once you crack a road soda, they keep crack-a-lackin'. Is that what the kids are saying? So if you're joining us for the first time, there's a post out there on Craigslist, and we're just seeing what kind of things we get. So this is the post that's on Craigslist, all right? And it says, free psychic reading is the headline. And it says, I have recently discovered after a near-fatal car accident that I have unusual psychic abilities. I do not feel comfortable accepting monetary compensation for this gift, but need to share it. Please call this number, 706-200-1213. That's also the number of the podcast. So we're, getting people to call the podcast, and we can give them some psychic help. And leave a voicemail with a question you would like me to answer with my gift. Please no texts. And see right here, this is critical. I need to hear your voice for my gift to work. We're just trying to figure out exactly what you need to do to make sure that these people actually call in and leave a message, because that's what we want. Just like how we try to get our listeners to call in and leave a message. That's right. Anybody can also call this same number and leave us a nice, kind voicemail. And you can call 706-200-1213 and leave us a voicemail. Anyway, so these people left us a voicemail. And this one has been running now for almost 3 weeks. And it just keeps on giving. Now, these Craigslist ads, I think they post for a month. So maybe that's how we'll do it. Well, it'll be a new prompt, and we'll let it go throughout the month, and we'll just check on it. And but that's the prompt right now. And so we got to check in on some people. I have a list here. I'm getting more advanced with how I do this. All right, so this is the first one. I bring it up right here. Let's see what they wanted to know here.
Hello. My name is Hannah. I guess my question would be, and I don't know if this is me being greedy, but I do have 2 questions. If you can only answer one
question, Hannah.
But my question is, I am looking to move, and I recently filled out for an apartment, and I'm on a waiting list now for these nice luxury apartments that match my income. So I'm just wanting to know. They told me it takes 3 to 6 months, up to a year to get a call back, but I just wanted to know, when do you see them calling me back in reference to these apartments? If so, is it soon? Is it later? And my last question would be, is it meant for me to marry this man who has been in my life named Joyce Tana? And if so, when? Thank you. My callback number is...
Okay, thank you, Hannah. Wow, so Hannah got a little greedy in there, and she took a shot at 2 questions. Let's see. So she's looking at nice luxury apartments that match her income. Well, that's good. That's smart of you. You seem like you got a good head on your shoulders. Interesting that you're asking a psychic. I think let's say this is the psychic in me. Ready? Before it says 3 to 6 months, inside the 3 months, that's when you're getting a call back on that waiting list. They want you to move in. However, the guy in your life, I think his name was something Tanner. Let's see. That's not the guy you're meant to marry. I know that you feel that way, but he's not feeling that way either, darling. I don't know. That was me trying to turn on the Miss Cleo. So see how fun that was? That was probably also the most genuine, like, perfect, clean cut I've ever, so many of these are just guys on the other line that are breathing heavy. Because I didn't say this, but I say this every time. Along with the posting, I posted up, it's a picture of like a psychic lady, a nice looking lady. So I think a lot of these guys are calling because, they're trying to get in touch with the lady. All right, so let's see who this next person is. Let's listen to this. Are you ready? Okay. She has to...
Hello there, I was interested in your psychic
at your convenience, get back to me. Thanks.
And just like that. All right, so yeah, that's usually what we get into. Only that guy was, I guess, fucking Christopher Walking. You get your psychic services. Get back to me. Thanks. I fucking beat. Thanks. Yeah. Man? I'll never. Some of these folks calling in are some great cream of the crop, as they say. Let's see here. We have another one. We have two more. All right, so we got two more. We got this one and then one more. They trickle in. They trickle in, guys.
Yeah, I saw your ad on Craigslist. I guess I have to leave a free voice mail, and you'll answer my question. My name is Rich, and my question is, I met a woman named Julia yesterday.
Did you?
Just wanted to see anything
Said it like a question.
From that. And my number is 77.
Okay, yes, you did meet a girl. You did meet a girl named Julia yesterday, because that was his question, right? I met a girl named Julia. Yeah, her name was Julia, not Jane. Oh man. Yeah, and let's see. You met her. You might see her again. Sure, you'll see her again. It's a big place, big city. You know, a lot of things going on. All right, now let's listen to our next one. Here we go. Oh, any minute now.
Hey, Faith, or whatever the fuck you call yourself nowadays. I found your stupid ad on Craigslist, and I will say you were right. Jimmy was a total piece of shit, and I was gonna break up with him, but only because you were fucking him, you damn whore. Fuck you.
Oh man, she didn't leave a callback number. How are we supposed to give you your... Oh man, let's fucking listen to that again. Ready?
Hey, Faith, or whatever the fuck you call yourself nowadays.
It's Faith.
I found your stupid ad on Craigslist, and I will say you were right. Jimmy was a total piece of shit, and I was gonna break up with him, but only because you were fucking him, you damn whore.
All right. I guess this psychic thing is taking on a life of its own out there, huh? Well, I didn't know Faith was into that kind of stuff. I just pulled the picture off the internet. What's been going on? Have we been... Hold on, who'd she say? I guess so-and-so was? Hey, let's listen to that again.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I got that part. It's got to... All right, let's play it again.
Hey, Faith, or whatever the fuck you call
Who is-
yourself nowadays.
Ready?
I found your stupid ad on Craigslist, and I will say you were right. Jimmy was a total piece of shit.
Jimmy is a total piece of shit. Darling, Jimmy's a total piece of shit. That sounds like just an... That's like Scottish Miss Cleo. Jimmy's a total piece of shite. Is he incarcerated? Oh man, so I think we got like another week of this one, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what rolls in. And I'm also mulling over another Craigslist thing. But hey, if you guys want to call in, you can also just call in and say hi. Or, maybe we'll give you a reading too. How about you, whatever you want. The world is yours. 200. Oh no, that's not the number. Oh, I keep doing that. 706-200-1213. And why not? Because why not? And if you guys have any ideas of what kind of prompts we should use on Craigslist, you can send those to, you should write those up and send them to roadsodamail@gmail.com. And then we'll do this together. We'll do this thing together. We'll see what kind of cool shit we can drum up on Craigslist, because that's what it's there for, right? Also, did you know this, that you have to fucking pay for Craigslist ads posting now? And it depends, it's all scaled to like what you're posting. If you're posting a job, like you have a job, you have to pay like $10, I think. But then I think if you're looking for a job, it's maybe like $5. But again, who posts like I'm looking for a job? All I know is that when I've been posting, it's been $5. And sometimes, depending on how I'm posting it, where I'm posting it, they ask $10. Jesus Christ, it's Craigslist. That's why, I don't know. They should just ask or beg for donations like that Wikipedia guy.
I'm Jim James of Jamestown Crematoriums. Our ovens have been on for 20 years and we love what we do. Most crematoriums won't bring up the issue of wrong body cremations because people expect 100% accuracy in our line of work, but insiders know industry average is only about 81%. But here at Janestown, we have been highest in our region for 10 years at 89%. That's 10% higher than the other guys. So the next time you have to cremate a loved one, please consider Janestown. You can rest easy knowing you have a much higher likelihood of getting back the ashes of your loved one and not the ashes of your neighbor, or worse, their poodle. Don't get burned. Leave the incineration to Janestown.
A Popco brand.
I don't even know if this is what I want to do.
What do you mean as far as
That's like what I do for a living.
what you do for a
you know?
living?
And like my company just like they're gonna pay for my master's degree.
Yeah,
And
so
you know,
they got
wanna,
you.
And they want to promote me, but still, I think that's just kind of part of life. Is
But the thing is, you do know what you do want to do,
sure.
which is like you prefer to work with strictly music, right?
Yeah, that would be great. Willow,
Like, is that
what is this? The
if you
dollop?
were
We
so-
got an animal.
Yeah,
Interrupted?
Willow, or you are Jesus.
If I was so fortunate
Jose.
as to like live my chosen life, it would definitely be funded by music and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Like I would teach Jiu-Jitsu in the day and maybe teach guitar lessons
Yeah.
on the side and like just make music and
Which I think, highly obtainable.
yeah, we'll see what happens.
But the same, that's like, ooh, Lord,
the dog
what
fart.
the fuck you
Willow,
eat,
come.
girl? Don't look at me like you didn't just shit your britches. Damn, girl. I never smell like that. I really don't care. I think it's just funny.
Yeah, she smells. Man, so I was reading about. Do you remember a long time ago you gave me a book? It was like an MMA training book. It was called Training for Warriors.
Yes.
I was reading an interview to.
Recording this. I'm so stupid. Continue.
Oh, I didn't know.
I was recording just to get a test, and then I was like, oh, we're doing good. But then my mind went back to the test, and I was like, all right, done with the test. But then I started listening to what you were saying. I'm like, fuck, I should be recording that.
Willow.
So you wanted to do so many things, and you were...
Okay,
listening
so
to-
originally, you and I were like kind of shooting the shit about purpose. What do I want to do? And is what I want to do like my purpose? Is there a way to do what I have to do and still do what I want to do and still feel like I have a purpose? Like all these kind of existential things that happen as we grow up, and we're like, you sit there and you're like, man, when I was like a teenager or younger, I never once was like, I want to be a data analyst or I want to be a cashier, right? Like these things that we have to do in order to exist. There's no shame in any of them.
No,
But it's just like, so how can we find purpose? And anyways, I'm trying to learn about balancing things, balancing music, balancing my wife, balancing my animals, balancing work, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, weightlifting, like all these things that I want to pursue, all these books I want to read, all these shows I want to watch, and I was reading this interview with a guy, and you'll know him, I can't remember his name, but he wrote the book that you let me borrow a long time ago called Training for Warriors.
Right.
And
I'll try to look up his name.
it's just crazy that this morning I had this crazy epiphany about slowing down, figuring out what's important, and the rest is kind of supplementary. And like, you don't have anything to prove. You just have to relax, right? Everything is going to be fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the best at everything. Like all these kinds of things that I have to tell myself because I'm so intrinsically driven and competitive. It causes a lot of stress. Anyways, the dude saved my life. The line was, you can't ride two horses with one ass. And I was like, nailed it. Find what you're passionate about.
That is, yes.
And hit it. You can't do it all. And don't worry
Martin
about
Rooney.
it. Is that, yeah.
I believe it's Martin Rooney.
And so the idea also is that like riding two horses with one ass sounds so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so is trying to pursue so many different things. So it gave me this really deep breath of like, all right, I don't have to be the best at everything,
right.
And like, finding balance and finding what's important and pursuing it. But
yeah, it was, and you're right, it is a balance because although you can't ride more than one horse with one ass,
right.
You can ride more than one horse just at different times.
Sure.
I think because it's like stay focused on what you want to be doing and whatnot. But it's Miyamoto Musashi said that it's like you don't want to just have one thing. I mean, I don't know exactly how he said it, but that was a message that's like, because he was also an artist as much as he was a samurai or a master of swordplay. But it's like, it is to I mean, you do want to have more than one of these things, but exactly trying to slow down and focus on each one independently and take your time. We have so much. I mean, people. It's funny because in a way we have almost no time, right? And everyone's always saying, life is over before you know it. But at 28 years old, and my dad's like 73, 74, I think. Yeah, it's funny. I don't know my dad's exact. He's been 73 for 10 years.
I was gonna say I don't know anybody in my family's age. I don't think.
Yeah, dude. I don't know their birthdays, nothing. But they know that I know they're there.
Yeah, that's right.
But he's 70 something, and he starts talking about his life and his different stories, and I think about it. And at one point, he had a wife and kids before I was even born, and I'm the third in my family. So he and my mom met, and they had 3 kids, and I'm the last one. And I think about it, I'm like, man, this guy has lived all of my experience. So I'm 28 right now. All of my experience, everything I've ever been alive for, it's 28 years, and then doubled it. And then in a way, almost tripled it. And I can't fathom. And even if you even want to get more specific, I mean, you can probably get rid of the first, 4 or 5 years. Like, you don't remember much, right?
Sure.
So yeah, being 23 years of experience. And when I think about that, I was like, dude, I already feel like I've made a lot of progress. Like, I've done a lot of stuff. If I get that much more time, but not only do I get that much more time, but I get that much more time as like a competent person and not as an adolescent that's like confused. So I get like 20, 30 years at this stage of my life to like point my focus. Dude, that makes me feel so good when I start thinking about that. Yeah.
So you have like an exuberance for life as you age.
Yeah, like I'm pumped that now, now that with all the experience that I've gathered up to this point, I can continue on with so much more time, double, triple the amount of time I've already existed. And so like, there's times I'm sitting there thinking, like, damn, the podcast isn't working as well as I wanted, or this didn't work out, or I'm like, I'm 28. I'm 20, like, there are a lot of people, and I know a lot of people who are extremely successful at 25, 26.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people who don't become extremely successful until 40 or 50 years old. There's never, there's not an age cap on success.
Yeah, and what comforts me is like thinking about like the Bushido code and like I think there are 10 tenets of Bushido, or there might be more than that, honestly. It's kind of weird. But anyways, basically, the idea is that, like, let's say you want to be like a soup maker.
Right.
So if you're really good at making soups, but you show...
Are you saying suit or soup?
Soup.
Oh,
like what you eat, like food.
I thought your suit's like what you wear.
Soup. So you're really talented soup chef. Well, that still doesn't help, right? Because then it's like suit chef, right? It could be that. It could eat suits.
Sure.
Garbage human. So anyways... Making soup, if you're really good at it, you show up and you do half your best, you're not living by the Bushido code.
Right.
But if you suck, but you show up and you try and you put everything you have into that and you spill it when you serve it, and you know what I mean, you're living by the Bushido code.
Right.
So the idea is to do your best,
And you know when you're not, too.
Yeah, of course you do.
I think there's so many times when you find it easy to like make an excuse for yourself of why you did fail at something.
Yeah.
And it's always an exterior thing, and it's always it's just very easy to say I was trying my best, but XYZ. But even still, I mean, but if you're actually trying your best and being like realistic with yourself, like, did you do everything you could have done? Yeah, dude, I'm fucking consumed by that.
Well, and you know what's funny is that's one of the reasons why I like my boss. Shout out Nicholas Alexandro, if you ever listen to this.
I mean, I don't know if you ever want to be you want to be shouting his name out on this show.
Yeah. No, but for real is he never lets me get complacent. So like, I know it makes me uncomfortable to say, but like, I know I'm smart. I know I am, and it makes me uncomfortable to say it, but I know
it is. It's hard for anyone to just say
and plus you can never say something like that without sounding like a douchebag, but that's fine. So I'll be a douchebag. I'm smart, and most of in my life, I've been able to not have to try. I'm very privileged in that. My
Right.
wife is also smart, but like the amount of studying she does in school and like what a lot of people do, like I just don't have to do that. Like I used to not buy textbooks. I'd be like, I'll be fine.
Right,
And I still get, A's. And my boss is also like that. And he sees through it. And he knows if he doesn't challenge me, I will only give 10%. And
Right.
I'll just cruise through work.
I'll cruise, yeah.
You know?
But he wants 80, 90%, Justin.
So he keeps challenging me, and he keeps putting these things in front of me, and he keeps like letting me fail and he doesn't micromanage. If something takes me 6 hours to figure out, like,
That's how much
it's on
time
you. You can only bill 3 hours to the client, so
Right.
anytime over that's on you. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
it's kind of
yeah.
like this thing where like, I like that I'm being challenged at this job because at my other job I wasn't. And also like I have, especially from the martial arts and everything, like I have strong mental fortitude. And like if I don't want to do something, like I can be very stubborn. And these are all like terrible personality traits I'm like airing out. But,
Yeah, but
like if I don't have a manager, and it's not even about being alpha, like it could be man or woman or like, it's about like mentally, if you try to push me and I resist, most people will not, you know what I mean? Like usually I can get past that. I can win that battle. And Nick is like super strong-minded and like, yeah, I have good respect for him. So he doesn't let me play my games.
Right. And yeah, having that respect for him as well, I think, is a large part of it.
Yeah, and he also works hard. We've all had a manager who is really short, micromanages, poor delegator, poor direction, but also does nothing.
Right. And that is, I think, the most frustrating is like it's very hard to respect somebody that's like expects more from you than they do themselves. Like you almost instantly want to follow the person that's telling you to do something and they're doing it themselves 100 like that. You're like, well, yeah, I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, look at Robbie Craddock. He rolls every night. Look at Eric Marshall. He spars. Like you've got people who are out there teaching and doing. It's inspiring.
You can't. Yeah, it's very hard to respect unless you're, doing the things you want the other people to do. Lead by example, as Jesus Christo would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
So we're talking about doing our best. We're talking about people that inspire us because they try hard and pursue things while also expecting highly of you. So one of the things that I've been really chewing on lately because of my own anxiety that I have to manage is the ethical responsibility, the moral responsibility of trying your best.
Right.
Like, Isaiah, you've known me almost 10 years.
Yeah, maybe even more.
Yeah. I'm not the guy who can just like show up to jiu-jitsu twice a week and just show up and be there. Like if I do something, I have to be good at it.
Right.
And I started trying to figure out like why and pinpointing why. And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I almost feel an ethical obligation to be trying my best.
Right.
And that is in line with what we were talking about before, the Bushido code, do your best, right? But really, like, what it comes down to is if I know better and I do otherwise, I feel shame.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I feel guilt.
Yeah,
right?
you know
like,
what you did, yeah.
Right. So
Or didn't do.
do you feel like there is a moral obligation as a human being? What responsibility do you have to yourself and to the world around you to be doing your best?
Right. I think, it's a hard question to answer because it's one. I only know my own perspective, but it's almost like I feel that when you do have a moral. I think that's essentially what morals are. Is like in any given situation what you should have done and what you ended up doing, and I think that personal sort of compass or whatever is. It trumps like law and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, that you know that if you chose to smoke weed when it's illegal, that's not something that's morally wrong, and even though it's against
the law, right? Yeah.
But yeah, and I think that there are a lot of people, or everyone to a certain extent, silences that voice in a lot of different situations. And there's some people that do it a lot more, and there's some people that do it a lot less, obviously. But I think it holds true, and it's like, even though we're talking about going to jiu-jitsu or going to your job and doing your best, I think it's the same sort of feeling. Like when I go to jiu-jitsu and I'm there to to get better, and I know that I'm supposed to do like 25 reps of whatever it is, and I do 20 instead.
Because you're tired or you get bored.
Right.
Yeah.
Or just, I'm lazy. I just don't even want to, like, and I do 20. I know that I get the same feeling as, like, you know what you should have been doing. You know what you're here to do.
Yeah.
And it's almost that same kind of thing if, like, I were to go steal something, It's
Yeah.
like, you shouldn't have.
You shouldn't, yeah.
And you did, and right.
And so this is all philosophical, right?
Very.
I'm trying to lead up to, like, what I'm going to say next is, like, maybe offensive to some people, but it's all just philosophical.
Yeah.
So this is how we feel about doing our best in our daily lives, and we're talking about, like, moral obligations of, like, and so there are two more places that I want to get to, but the next one is your own health.
Right.
What moral obligation do you have to your own health, right? If we think about it, like, from depending on the type of ethics we're talking about, like, if it's not hurting other people,
right,
then is it really ethically wrong? Is it ethically wrong to commit suicide, right? Is it ethically wrong to knowingly cause harm to yourself? So you shouldn't eat McDonald's, but you're in a hurry and you don't have a lot of money, so you eat it anyways.
It tastes good as shit.
It tastes good. I will never lie. And
You
the people were like, that's gross. It's like, get the fuck off my planet.
The idea is gross.
piece of
You know
shit.
it tastes good.
So you go there. You probably don't feel great after you eat it, or you consistently don't feel great. You just feel normal, right?
Right.
Is that, like, ethically wrong? Do you have a moral obligation to yourself to not be overweight, or to not eat poorly, or to not smoke cigarettes, right? Like, these types of things.
Do you? I would say it's a really tough question because of what you said. It's yourself, and you're not hurting other people, right?
Right.
Essentially, I mean, if you commit suicide, you could absolutely say that the people that are closest to you, you're hurting them.
Sure. Or if there's universal health care, and you're not taking care of your body, and so you cost a lot more. From a medical perspective, you're taking more out of the pool than.
So in a way, I guess you could be affecting other people even when you're neglecting yourself. I think it's just very easy for us. Like, that's the number one thing that's easy for us to neglect. Like, it's almost easier for me to neglect my own personal health or something that's good for me over neglect, like, a task that I was asked to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's you think, hey, I don't care about me. I know the effect that it'll have on me, and I know that,
This episode of Road Soda is brought to you by Magnet Mound. I'm Vinny.
And I'm Lionel, here to bring you Magnet Mound.
Pornhub stats show the bush is coming back.
But you've been rocking a landing strip.
Who can keep up?
Stop chasing the trends.
Whether you want your twat as bald as Professor X or so thick that he needs a machete, Magnet Mound is your set it and forget it solution.
Our in-house doctor surgically installs a magnetic plate right above your cooch. Then our special metal fibers simulate pubes. Sprinkle them on to dress up your box using our Etch-a-Snatch app.
The Etch-a-Snatch app comes with preset designs, or you could draw what you like. With an easy press of a button, bam, you're in the 70s. Bam, you're in Brazil. Bam, you've got a full man chew. It's a pubic revolution.
And for guys, try our Woolly Willy app.
You are just a minor day surgery away from the most electrifying grooming of your life.
You're hurting the person you know the most.
Yeah.
And you don't. You're cool with it.
That's right.
Right.
And I believe that our subconscious, I believe that its purpose is to keep us safe from ourselves, right? It's the part that helps us rationalize all these things, and it helps, right? Like cognitive dissonance,
Yeah.
Like you see a dude who's like buff walking down the gym or walking down the beach, and you're like, you think like, oh, he looks good. I wish I looked good. And then you're like, well, if I hadn't hurt my back lifting those boxes, I could do that, right? Cognitive dissonance, closing those gaps, taking those moments of existential crisis, and then just spinning them to be like, it's
mental
fine.
gymnastics.
Yes, it is.
9 out of 10.
So we talked about purpose. We talk about being driven and being pulled in a lot of directions. We talked about focus. We talked about the moral obligations of doing your best, like in the Bushido Code.
Yeah.
And we talked about the moral obligation and consequences of not taking care of yourself. The last thing that I've been thinking about a lot lately is, what responsibility do you have as an individual for the human race, right? So we get into things like, human trafficking,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's say cocaine and human trafficking. Like the same cartels that sell cocaine are the same ones that do human trafficking, right?
Yeah.
So
And they seem like they're doing all right.
So by nature,
Right.
if you buy cocaine to party,
You're supporting.
so even though your moral obligation to yourself is, I'm going to do something that's probably not great for me,
Right.
like cocaine, and I'm going to get high, even though I might become addicted,
Mm-hmm.
which is fine. I'm literally not judging anybody. It doesn't, like I'm unaffected. You're doing something again to you and living your life,
Mm-hmm.
But by doing that, you're also supporting an industry outside of that, right?
Kind of like if you were to eat McDonald's, you'd be supporting factory farming and things
Factory
like
farming
that. So,
and government subsidies on beef, right? Like, there's no reason a double quarter pounder should be as cheap as it is, but we're not going to get into that.
That's impossible. So, could you say, or how, how do you feel? Could you say that any action that is neglectful to ourselves, like you were expressing before, why do we just have the moral obligation to ourselves? All those choices that we make that do hurt us, do you think would be a way you could show that it is affecting other people? Is that
that's the connection. Yeah, that's the connection I want to make. So it's like, by not trying our best
Mm-hmm.
and not being our best selves as a whole, we're not really helping ourselves as a society move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about, like, what is my responsibility to homeless people? What's my responsibility towards, like, marginalized individuals, right? Like people of color or something, right? Like, what role do I play in this world?
So what is your role? What do you see?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I try to think of, like, that, from the Eightfold Path, like, lessen the suffering of yourself and others.
Mm-hmm.
So try to make life easy on you, and try to make life
But
easy
you
on other
can't-
people too.
But you also can't ride two horses with one ass.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you can't simultaneously solve all of the world's problems. I think that is something that people become very consumed with, and it depresses them a lot, is because you have the ability to see all these horrific horrors happening around you, and like, you see all the bums on your way to work, and you see on the news all the starving children in Africa and stuff, and it's like, you can't help every single one of those people. And that's the thing, and you shouldn't feel like you should just do what you can inside your own life, inside your own parameters. Anytime you have an interaction, or anytime maybe you have some money you can donate, as long as you're donating it to somewhere like it's going to be used properly. I think those are the kinds of things you can do, but you shouldn't hurt yourself worrying about it unless your path is to be like an activist. Like, that's
Right.
That's what you're doing. Like, I am an activist. I'm doing this. But a lot of people, not that you can't support activists as well. I'm just saying, it's like why are you worrying yourself so much about it if you're not going to go down and join the Peace Corps and start, like, doing that kind of stuff? But I think there is something that we can do. Like, even as there are as like ants, each of us have, like, this job or this path, and because we don't just know it, we have to find out on our own. But there are people that is their path is to help the homeless. And then, not for nothing, but if you feel that your path is to create art, that's not worse than directly helping somebody.
This is interesting.
I think your creation of art is also lessening the suffering, and has the chance to inspire people to do many different things. Whether you could even inspire people with your music towards a certain movement.
Yeah.
So I don't, or get out a certain message. So I also think that people, you can find the meaning of your life in any. I mean, I work at a fucking logistics company, and all I do is move freight. I'm just like, a piece of a very large machine that just like moves everything around. But I don't think it's like what I'm doing is necessarily the good for the world. Like, to be honest, yeah, we have a fun, goofy podcast. This is my goodness to the world. Is like I'm lightening the mood of these people who might be in these positions, working and doing these different things, and maybe even inspiring them to do not do something else, but like just do anything. I don't care what I inspire you to do. If it's just, but it's, if anything, I can at least lighten the mood.
Yeah,
can I lighten the mood a little bit.
You know what so something that I thought of while you were talking is there's this guy named Israel Cat.
Yeah.
Someone can write in, Grant can write in and tell me, he probably knows him. He can tell me I pronounce his name incorrectly. But he's like the father of this type of ethics, which really is like more, it's philosophy.
Right,
and it's called deontological ethics.
Uh-huh.
And I like it because he basically said, like, the only thing that is good, when you consider what is good or what is bad, is something that can be good without qualification. You know, like doing a good deed so that you can say. This is a really low-hanging fruit example.
Of
but
course, that's the way to understand it.
Yeah, but the concept of like, I'm going to give you something just so I can bring it up every time I see you. Mm-hmm. Or I'm going to donate so that I can post on Facebook that I donated. Like, that's not good without qualification.
Right.
You know, or there are other examples of, I'm trying to think, but like you...
Actually, in the Jewish sort of culture,
mm-hmm.
The highest form of charity is when the giver and the receiver do not know who they are at all. So, like, if you left, like, a 20 on a picnic table
mm-hmm.
and left, and then a bum happened to come by and pick it up, like, that is being to where both the giver and the receiver never even know who they are.
Yeah.
It's the highest form of charity.
I like it, man. I do.
Because it's literally for the sole purpose of charity, and it can't be muddied in any way.
Right. Yeah, and it's like you're not doing a good deed because you know, like you're not, and I know this is like vulgar, but you're not complimenting a woman because you want to fuck her.
Right.
You're just like, man, that's a cool dress.
Yeah.
Or like, that's a cool tattoo, you know, whatever the case may be. I like your hair. I compliment dudes. You know, just, man, like, because if you think something, you should say it for the most part, right? You know, but like you should spread that love and keep the mids in, I might say.
Yeah.
But you know, but yeah, spread that joy. And so, anyways, like, good without qualification. So, like you said, doing a good deed without expecting something in return. Complimenting someone not because you want to fuck them, or not helping someone because you know that, like, oh, it'll get me somewhere.
Right.
Like recently, you know, my friend Sean is a pretty successful dude in the music industry, and recently someone was talking to me, and they literally said the words out loud, like, it's just cool to know I have an in with the industry. Right. I was like, what are you talking? Like, to me, he's just Sean. He's my buddy Sean. You know what I mean? Like, I hang out with him and we make music, but like, I don't see him as a tool for my advancement. Like, that is not, from a deontological ethics perspective, that is not good without qualification.
Yeah, you have a genuine relationship.
Yeah,
with
I don't have
person.
an ulterior motive. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like, it's just interesting. So I'm kind of at the end of that rant, but it's interesting to think about, like, and it makes you think about. I wonder all the time, motivation, why?
Yeah. I
want X, or I do action X. What is my actual motivation, right? Mm-hmm. Because sometimes we can operate on such a primal, automated level, like autopilot is, I guess, what I was looking for. And thinking on these primal, biological, like breed, eat, breed, fight, breed, eat, fight kind of mindsets. And I say we, but I guess it's me.
I think, like, it's, you know,
I do this thing that I call rejecting my nature. I literally am trying to be a human and not an animal, you know? And so when you think about deontological ethics, it makes you consider your whys. Mm-hmm. You know, and then that goes back to what we were talking about earlier with purpose.
Yeah, it is the curse of the human is still being a part of nature, still being essentially an animal with all the same parts and parts of the same brain and parts of it's you know, people are animals with the cognitive ability to realize that we should be better than those animal tendencies. And that's why
And are we morally obligated to do so?
it's are we? And it's a curse, because one person can easily ignore, or not ignore, but have a mastery over their animal like tendencies or whatever, right? But as soon as you put anything between that person and like another subject, it all comes back again. Like as soon as you put somebody in a car, they could be the nicest person in the world, but they're driving. Everyone's a fucking asshole.
Yep.
You piece of shit.
Yeah.
And then it's that, and also that particular curse is the reason why there will never ever be a perfect state. There will never ever
world peace, you mean?
Yeah, there will never ever be a country or a society that functions properly. There will never be a government institution that works the way it should. Is because when the group comes together, the thing that comes out is the animal instinct. Like, here's you're familiar with the Dunbar number?
I don't think so, actually.
I don't remember the guy's first name or whatever. He's a psychologist, something Dunbar, and he has this number, and it's about 200 people that you can personally know.
Yep. Yeah.
And it's basically, like, it's almost like we're made or we're built to be in these groups of like 200 people, because in a group of 200 people, you can have like a perfect socialist sort of environment, because when you give money to somebody, if you're loaning money to somebody, like I know I'm loaning it to Justin. Like I know Justin and I've known him for a long time. I know the kind of guy he is. Of course I'm going to help him out. But if somebody who is completely nameless and you've never met them, and now you have to be morally obligated to give them then your instincts come back. Like then your animal instincts come back, and now you don't want to help that person. That's why it's hard. There will always be this I'm sorry, man. That's why there's all these programs, like, because we can cognitively understand that those programs should be. They should be. This is how it should be. We all know we should be loving and caring, like, without a doubt. But it's impossible. It's impossible on a scale. When the person just becomes a number, you feel a disconnect that's not a person anymore. It's just a number, and I can't feel obligated to help a number. So I think honestly, until humans change physically, until there's a physical different change, like this is it. Like it's just going to be this perpetual cycle of build up and destroy, until we have like a way to comprehend, billions of people at once, until we're able to, or who knows, maybe we become some kind of robots, and then we'll be able to have that perfect sort
Just
of...
let AI take over already.
Just let it happen.
Let them have it.
And that's obviously... I almost feel a little bad about this entire segment, but at the same time I don't, because this segment is so much of what so many podcasts are. Is just the, people... This is my favorite pastime, by the way. This...
Really?
Yeah, this right here, whether we're talking about something intellectually stimulating or we're talking about something fun or funny, just gabbing in general is my 100% favorite fucking pastime.
Yeah.
So it's almost like this was just kind of a little self-indulgent, and I don't care that just about every podcast you turn on is a couple of people philosophizing and that kind of stuff, but I mean, I really enjoy the conversation and get a lot out of it.
I enjoy it too. And also, this is what keeps me up at night,
Yeah.
Thinking about this stuff. Plus, you still get the news, people. All right?
Yeah.
You still get your laughs.
We still get your news.
Just like a sneeze, it was so quick, and yet, well, you blinked out of reality for
minutes, days, maybe even years. We'll never know. That's just like this episode. You never know. Thanks for listening, guys. What did you learn? What did you learn? I learned that, sometimes there's a lot of thought that goes into just about everything. It's hard to do your best. How do you put yourself in a situation and say, I did everything that I could in this situation? Or do you, we sometimes make excuses and sort of lie to ourselves that we didn't do our very best in those situations. That's the big thing. We're all just lying to ourselves maybe, and that we're not trying our best and we're not doing our best. But I think sometimes that might be okay, because sometimes you need a little break. Who knows? But here we are. It's another week. It's another Monday. At least if you listened. We cracked it on Monday. When you got to drinking it, I don't know. That's up to you. That's up to you, the listener. Guys, if you want to call into the show, you can call in and leave a voicemail, 706-200-1213. We love hearing your voicemails. Or you can write into the show. You can send us an email, a lengthy email, telling us how much you despise our airtime and that you wish the FCC would take us down forever. But they can't. And you can send that to roadsodamail@gmail.com. And that's where you can send that to. You can send all your complaints to roadsodamail@gmail.com. We read all complaints, folks, because we want to make sure we make everybody happy. That's right. If you have a complaint, we will wholeheartedly listen to that complaint and absolutely change 100% of everything you are asking for. That's our service to you, the listener. Also, do yourself a favor this week. Try going to bed fucking early. Just try it 2 nights in a row and see what a difference your life. Everyone's saying, you get 6 to 8 hours of sleep. No. Fuck that. 8 to 10. 8 to 9. That's what you need. 9 hours of sleep. You're fucking groovy. There you go. Also, thank you for listening. You're all groovy.